Hello, welcome to the story, Pilgrim. Episode 49. Myself Between Departures. Now, it is Tuesday morning. The podcast is already supposed to be out by now. But in the last 3 days, if they have taught me anything, it is that control is a myth. Let's just rewind a little bit. Saturday, I was on airport standby from 8 o'clock in the morning. 2 minutes into that standby, I get called for a flight to Istanbul. It's on the Asia side. There and back. Hopefully should be a nice, uneventful day. Well, the flight out it was lovely. Had a coffee, even had a breakfast. It went very smoothly. A little bit of turbulence, but that was about it, really. The way back was a different story. About 30 minutes in, we were serving in the cabin when a lady right in front of me went into a seizure. Her eyes rolled up, she just seized, fainted, that was it. So you kind of go into sort of like just a mode. You just do what you need to do. She was wearing a mask, she was extremely hot, she was in and out of consciousness. She was sick, so I managed to get the mask off her. I managed to calm her down, managed to get her out of a seat down to the back where it was a little bit cooler, got her on oxygen, got my boss involved, informed the captain. Anyway, long story short, we didn't have to divert. We got her stable. The wheelchair was ordered at the other end. She made it. We made it. Landed back at Heathrow, cleared at 6:55, and I was wrecked. Not just tired, depleted, like my body had been on high alert for 12 hours and it was still vibrating. Sunday, home standby, nothing. Watched my roster like a hawk, but nothing changed. My fate was sealed for that day. Monday, called in again, home standby. This time was called in for Heathrow standby. Ops desk told me, and I quote, "It's a shit show here today," and they were right. The reporting centre where we are was packed, crew everywhere, flights cancelled, JFK, Boston, Dubai, Japan the day before. One of my colleagues, she showed up to find out that her long-haul flight had already been cancelled hours ago and she didn't need to be there, really. Me, I just sat in a corner, not used, not called, just present. Which brings us to today. And this is a stitched-together story of what happens when you're needed too much and then not at all. Cup of tea, garden, bird song that somehow sounds a little bit impatient, and this is where I've ended up. After 3 days of opposites, end of the emotional spectrum, Saturday was fully deployed, literally life-saving mode, and Monday fully ignored, like an existential IKEA display. And in both cases, I was absolutely done in. Perhaps people think that nothing is restful. Well, it's not. Not when your body's still bracing, still anticipating, still trying to interpret silence as information. Got me a cup of tea. I mean, it's gone a bit cold, but I've got a head full of unprocessed urgency, and I've got nothing to show for yesterday except a couple of receipts from Costa Coffee and a vague sense of grievance in a way. And the strange bit is, and I kept thinking about this, the podcast, the thing that no one is asking for. You know, I've given myself a deadline, Tuesday, today, and despite the chaos and the inertia of the last 3 days, that little voice in my head kept whispering, "You're late." That's not whisper, it really was, it's been shouting. There's something broken but loyal about that voice. It still thinks creation equals value, that productivity is how I still stay visible, relevant, real. But maybe there's something in the waiting too, the unperformed hours, those scenes that never make it onto stage. Oh yeah, it is really cold. There's a weird dissonance between having nothing to do and too much to process. That's where I was on Monday night, full of static, not sure what to do with my hands. Kitchen confession. Sunday, I didn't eat properly. I kind of was in a bit of a daze. I opened the fridge, stared at it like it owed me something. I mean, it didn't. I mean, it still doesn't. But there's a strange grief to a day that asks for everything and gives you nothing. Kept thinking about Istanbul, that woman, the moment where time just slows down. And you do. You step in, you act, you make a difference, and then the next day, no one calls. No one needs you. You're just a tool on a shelf. Ready, polished, untouched. And yet, I still tried to make something, a podcast, a story, a purpose, because I'm kind of scared of being still. Because stillness whispers things I don't always want to hear. Like, maybe you're only as valuable as your last flight, your last acting job, your last idea, or your last bit of output, which is nonsense. But it is also a little bit true. I was on edge all of Monday, despite knowing I probably wouldn't be used. That's the kicker. Knowing doesn't help. Waiting still grips you. And by the time I got home, 105 minutes later with traffic, I was more wrecked than I was after the Istanbul flight. So I went and took Todd for a walk, because sometimes the answer isn't in the fridge, or in your roster, or on the phone. Most of the time it can be found in nature. So I have just got back home. I am out with this young man here. We have a beautiful evening. And this episode, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to fit this in, but I probably will have said all of this before, but I just wanted to get something outside, because I probably won't get anything outside for this episode. Just spent 4 hours and 40 minutes sitting at Heathrow Airport on the chances that I was going to get a trip. I didn't, obviously, because I'm here. But all the chaos that's going on around the world at the moment And I'm so fortunate to have this right on my back door step. Literally, he loves it. He loves to be out here. A bit of a wider view there, look, of him. He's just, it's something, must be a previous dog's gone through, maybe a dog in season, because he's a young man, fully, well, he's all there, and yeah, maybe he's picking up on some scent there or something. But yeah, it's nice to get back after a day of uncertainty and to get back to this, and to have a bit of solidness, bit of foundation in life, which is my home and all that comes along with that, with regards to him now, Lucy, and all of that. Well, I'm here again, same t-shirt, same cold cup of tea, same thoughts, just a little bit quieter now. There's something weird about being prepared and unneeded. It's not quite a rejection, but it scratches the same part of the brain. I kept thinking, what would I have done with the day if I knew I wasn't going to fly? Would I have prepared better? Would I have written more about this episode? Would I have recorded? Would I have relaxed? Or would I have still spent it bracing for something that never came? There's nobility in readiness, but there's also fatigue. The whole garden feels like a metaphor, a space that's neither wild nor tamed, it's just in between. And maybe that's where I am too. Not flying, not failing, just here. So that was me between departures. Not a planned episode, not a well-paced adventure, but a kind of pilgrimage through 3 days of human noise and human silence. We're trained to think that value comes from doing, that action equals purpose, that showing up means being seen. But sometimes the deeper lessons arrive quickly, quietly, through absence, in limbo, in motorway standstills and lukewarm tea. Slavjo Žižek once said, "Sometimes doing nothing is the most violent thing you can do." It took me a while to understand that, but I think it is this. In a world of spinning, it's the world that's spinning faster and faster every day. Sometimes stillness becomes resistance. Rest becomes radical. Refusing to be defined by productivity is an act of self-preservation. And this isn't a romantic stillness. It's not passive. It's not beige mindfulness in an overpriced journal. It's standing in your kitchen, feeling pointless and deciding, I'm still here, I still count. That matters. So thank you for coming with me through this meandering mosaic of planes not flown, words not written, calls not made, and the strange, rich meaning that grew in their place. The Story Pilgrim was written, walked, talked, sat around, it did nothing. Directed, produced, edited by me, Darren Hill. Anya Backer provided the wonderful soothing music on Sean the Harp. Please remember to subscribe. Thank you, and keep listening, and buen camino.